is Andreas from Gute Ukulele in Berlin, Germany, and in this video I'd like to show you the brand new Hozen green label Baritone. Let's start with the specs. We have a body that is made of Formosa acacia, so it's not koa because this wood has not been grown on Hawaii, but it is as close as you can get to the grain and the sound of koa. Try to show you the grain without too many reflections of the light in the back. Okay, here you go. But you can see it on my website on the photos later. So this is a nice mother of pearl rosette with flowers. The flowers are always also inlaid in the fretboard. We have the typical Hozen features the cutaway that he calls an Oshida cutaway, which is very convenient because it's no edge here, so you can slide up more easily. You have the bevel and you have the sound port. We have a binding, an ebony binding, and the purfling is, I think it's maple, it's light wood. We have a bridge made of grenadier and the fretboard is ebony, and you have this delicate, nice little line around the fretboard, probably also maple. The neck is mahogany. It's reinforced with carbon fiber rods, so this one will not bend. Talking about reinforcement, this sound port in the inside is reinforced by a piece of wood. I think it's also maple because you see this light wood here on the inside of the sound port. That looks very nice. And you have an ebony bound, not bound, the head plate is ebony. On the back there's also a plate of ebony, and you have this nice symbol. Can you see it here? Yeah, this is an H for Hozen inlaid with mother of pearl, and you have the Grover tuners. So far so good. This was the theory, and now I want to show you the sound of this lovely instrument. Talking about sound, it's strung with the worst strings, the worst BB. So if you know the worst strings, they sound very warm and have very light tension. So this is nice on one hand because you don't have to fret hard. On the other hand, it is the tension, especially of the D string, is very low. So if you fret a bit too hard, the intonation might go sharp a bit. So you have to watch what you're doing in the energy of the moment. You might fret a little too hard, and then the intonation is a bit sharp. If you want, you can of course change it to metal wound strings. I do like the worst strings because with my acrylic fingernails, the wound strings always produce side noises when I plug them in a certain angle. So I do like the worst strings, but I have to pay attention on the intonation, to the intonation. So let's play some chords. Usually you wouldn't strum that much on a baritone, but of course you have to be able to strum, so I show you my typical chords. Surprisingly long sustain, very nice. This is one thing that I like to point out, this slide at the end of these chords. This really separates the good ukuleles from the, let's say, not so good ukuleles. So how easy is it to bring out that slide? So I don't have to pluck hard, I just pluck normal, and you can easily hear that slide. That's one sign that the ukulele is well built, very light, so these details come out. Another thing that I like to do is playing sixth on the top two strings and having the D and the G string ringing all the time, not fretting. So you can hear if the fretted notes become weaker when you play up the neck, because almost every baritone will probably sound pretty balanced, the 4 strings, the volume of the 4 strings, when you play in the first position, this G chord. But what is when you play here? So this is something I like to demonstrate to see if the volume and the sustain of the upper strings in the higher registers stay the same. Stays balanced up to the 15th fret. Very nice. Still a lot of sustain even here in the 15th fret. And what I also like to do, the same reason, is play in E, play the 6th on the lower 2 strings, and have the B and the E string constantly ringing, not fretted. So we can hear if the fretted notes on the lower 2 strings are getting weaker or not. This is wonderful. It's up to the 14th fret. Again, intonation is crucial. Don't fret too hard, especially here. The low D string in the 14th fret. But you can hear the sound of the fretted note stays from the volume and everything. It stays stays the same. So this is mission accomplished, I would say. Now let me play something fast. What I also like to show is playing a scale in the first position, then move up the fretboard to see how much, or if ever, the sustain and the volume of the single notes changes. Let's do that again. And now, 7th position. Still there, the notes. So again, I would say mission accomplished. And I like to play Gypsy Swing on ukuleles. So I always use my 5mm flat pick. It's made by, I think it pronounces Wechen. It's a Dutch guy. It's W-E-G-E-N. He makes those flat picks in different sizes and thicknesses. So this is my favorite one. You can find his flat picks on my website, by the way, as well. So that's the fat tone, and I really like that one because it produces a fat tone. This was my little demonstration of this wonderful Hozen green label baritone. You can find photos and the specs and everything on my website, also the price for this lovely instrument. By the way, it comes with a very, very good Hozen hard case. You can find the photos of that case on my website as well. So it's www.gute-ukulele.de.